Okay, deep breath, right? Father of the bride for the first time. As everybody knows, I work better in a team, so I brought one. My wife, Judy, and Jack's parents, Jan and John Willett. So everybody knows who the parents are. And just as well as I work in a team, I also work better with notes. So I brought my Cliff Notes for those of you old enough to know what those are. First of all, first on the agenda, of course, is a welcome. And as I look among the faces of everybody here, not going to do it. I'm not going to. This is the tough part. I see so many faces of people that mean so much to Judy and I know that mean so much to the Willett family as well. A lot of you have been with us for lots of years, experienced the good and the bad, and tonight we're going to celebrate the good. On behalf of Jack's parents, I'd like to welcome all those that traveled from long distances, I know even as far away as Connecticut, to come here and celebrate and kind of have a St. Louis-style party with us tonight. So thank you for all those who traveled. I want to thank Father Sieper. I don't think he's here quite yet, but Father Sieper, of course, conferred the sacrament of marriage on these two today. And Father Sieper has been a good, long-time friend of Judy and I. He was the pastor at Assumption from 2004 to 2014. So 10 of the years that Beth was growing up through the parish. So he means a lot to us, and it was great to have him as part of our ceremony today. I also want to thank Father Milosha. You saw the two other priests on the altar this afternoon. Father Milosha is our young associate pastor and a friend of Beth and Jack's. Beth and Jack have been involved with the youth group at Assumption here recently. So not only our associate pastor, but a friend of the newlyweds. Also want to thank the three servers. You may not know, but those are our future priests in the Archdiocese of St. Louis. So I want to thank them especially. Absolutely. I got a lot of compliments. A lot of people commented about the music today. And, of course, Pete and Jeremy, good friends of ours that have provided music at Assumption for a long time. I think they did a great job, as well as Sally and John with a great rendition of Ave Maria. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the people who worked behind the scenes. I know there were a lot of people that helped set up this hall on Friday and also did some things around the parish as far as getting the area, the dressing area set up and all the little details that really meant a lot to us. So I thank them as well. Now, what about this wedding party? Great friends of Beth and Jack, going back several years to high school, as well as a lot of good college friends. And in knowing them over the years, and more recently over the last week, a bunch of good young people. So I'm very proud. And then what about those two sisters? A couple of beautiful sisters, Taylor, Jack's sister, and Annie, Beth's sister. Okay, so obviously gratitude is a big part of my thoughts this evening, and I want to acknowledge that as a true gift from God, because I know that all you people are very much a part of our lives, and we are truly thankful for you. The other obvious topic for a wedding celebration like this, obviously, is love. And Father Sieper touched upon that in his homily today, which was very well thought and very much appreciated, at least by me. On Thursday night, John talked about Jack's discussion with him about getting married to Beth, and John related Jack's feelings through a number of lyrics, songs, and so on, which was very appropriate. And it was kind of interesting because I had the same thoughts and discussion with Beth about why she wanted to marry Jack. And that this has happened over a course of months. As you know, they've been engaged over a year. And I guess a couple of things, when I started thinking about this, and this is the engineer coming out here, but, I thought, well, maybe she just thinks marriage is an easy way of life. How many of you married couples would agree with that? Not many. There are not many hands out there. And then I thought also that maybe she's been listening to her mother here, saying how great married life is. But then again, I thought, no, that can't be. So I guess I have to fall back again to the fact that both of the fathers here are named John, and the priest that conferred the sacrament today is named John. So I took a verse from the Gospel of John, which simply states, God is love. And that says a lot, I think, because I know that Beth and Jack share a strong foundation of faith and prayer. And they have a strong faith in each other and a strong faith in God, which is a great foundation to start a relationship and married life. So my advice is keep God involved with your relationship and grow in the sacrament. Jack, I guess specifically, I want to say something about you, buddy. Specifically, I know that Jack has been very faithful in the recent years and has grown a lot in his relationship, obviously with Beth, but also in his relationship with God. And I know he has a strong commitment to both his family and all his friends, which is very impressive. And Judy and I are looking forward to having him as our son-in-law. Let's talk about Bethy girl here. Just for a minute. Obviously, and this is the hard part. John and I have a pact, no crying with the dad, so he's held up his part so far, so I'm going to try to do mine. But it's hard to sum up 25 years of fatherhood in a few comments. But I think you, Beth, you turned out pretty good. I'm not boasting here, but you're a beautiful young woman with a great heart and a great conviction. And we're very proud of that. To Mom, Annie, and me, you are nothing but a true blessing. So in conclusion, finally, we're not supposed to make this too long, right? Right. But in conclusion, based on your relationship over the years and the commitment that you made today to the sacrament of marriage, I ask that you keep God and each other today as part of your journey of faith, and that you continue, throughout your lives to be committed to the sacrament of marriage. We wish you every possible happiness and a long and joyful life together as husband and wife. Thank you.
Good evening. As they said, my name is Anne. I'm Beth's little sister. Sorry, thanks. Always teaching me how to do things. Before I start my speech, I also want to say thank you to everyone who has helped make this day so special, whether it was those people who drove a long distance to get here or the people who drove down the street. I know it is so important to Beth and Jack and her new husband. It's so weird to say. I'm not used to it yet. But I know it means a lot to them and to our family to have you all here. Also, a special thank you to all of our aunts and extended family who helped set up everything. I showed up yesterday, and they had already set up everything, and they just have really been our rock throughout this entire situation, and so it's been really great to have all of you. And one last but not least final thank you, thanks Beth, to my parents, not only for hosting this wonderful party, but also for the gift of this young woman right here as my sister. And I've cried like 5 times already, so it's fine. As I mentioned earlier, I'm Beth's younger sister. For those of you who may not know, and I'm sure many of you do, we could not be more different. While I'm sure this gave our parents a run from their money growing up, I'd like to think it kept things interesting in the Lashover household. I personally like to think of our personalities as more, not necessarily different, but more complementary. For example, Beth is the caregiver of both of us. Whether she was taking care of me, as she did just now, or finding some random sorority girl to take care of at a frat party. I don't know how, but she always finds someone to take care of. She's always been the caregiver of our lives. She's taking care of me, she's taking care of Jack, and she's an occupational therapist. That's what she does for a living. Myself, on the other hand, I've kind of been more of the protector. Beth can be a little bit of a scaredy cat. And so I've always been the protector in our relationship, whether that was when we came home from Ursuline one day and our parents had left the garage door open and our house was unlocked. And so she sent me in first to face the cooties, the people, whoever might have been in there. So, and she still, I'm pretty sure to this day, still keeps she likes to put a chair in front of the basement in case someone might come in. So we kind of have our own separate parts, but I like to think it's complementary. But now, she's not only found her person to protect her, but also take care of her. So I like to think that our parts growing up, Jack is now taking that place. There's nobody in the world more perfect for her than Jack. He supports her, he challenges her, he makes her laugh, and he happily puts up with our family. Whether it's making sassy comments to literally everything, or wearing a life jacket while driving from the cabin to the lake because the instructions said to wear it all times while near water. He has made our family life so much more fun these past 6.5 years. I really can't think of anyone I'd rather have as a brother, and also to gain a new mom and dad and another sister. Our family has grown together so seamlessly, and it really makes my heart happy and feel content to know that Beth and Jack are so loved and surrounded by all of you. There's nothing that makes my heart happier than knowing that my best friend has found her best friend and gets to spend the rest of her life with him. I love you guys. So now if everyone would like to raise a toast with me. Here's to many more years. May today be the first day of best of the days of your life. Many years of love and happiness and laughter. I love you guys. Cheers. And now, Christian will be giving a toast.
Hi, I'm Christian Barbosa. I'd like to thank John and Jan and John and Judy for raising 2 of my best friends in the world. I've known both Jack and Beth for 7 years. In fact, I've known them each an hour longer than they've known each other. That counts for something. And in that time, I've actually spent a lot of time third wheeling in the back of Jack's little blueberry Mini Cooper. And a lot of that time was spent listening to Jack and Beth fervently discuss which left turn was the right left turn. And I say this with love, but the 2 of you are the most stubborn people I've ever met, both with each other and with me. So Jack and I are walking down. We had a weather class senior year, and we're walking down the weather, and Jack comes up and says, Beth and I, we've been talking. We've been together for a while, and we're talking about our future, about, what life's going to be like in marriage, and, what do you think, Christian? What are your thoughts? And I stop Jack, dead in his tracks, walking to class, and I go, Jack, you 2 are the 2 most ridiculous people I know. If this relationship was based on anything other than absolute pure love, it would not have lasted a week. And You know, and I think to the outside observer, you two, it seems like you're hard on each other sometimes, and you know, and there's some tiffs. But honestly, I think you two pull the best out of each other, and that's really what you want. You're each striving to build each other up to the best possible version of you that you can be. And honestly, I think it's worked over 7 years. Beth, the way you're able to lay down yourself in front of the Lord and ask Him what you can do for Him, and let Him work through your life. It's truly inspiring. And Jack, watching you grow in the faith and having you honor me with the greatest honor anyone's even considered me for, as asking me to be your sponsor in conversion to the faith, and just seeing how you've grasped the faith with both hands is humbling for me, and it's truly inspiring. And I mean, I love you guys. Thank you. Sorry. It's okay. I'd like to pose a toast here to Jack, Beth, and their struggles. May the Lord sanctify them with their hard-fought love. Thank you. Cheers.